skydiving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's daily reflection. It is February 12th, 2021. Today we're going to be talking about fear and the matter of fear. So, welcome everybody. Just got done with the podcast. I'll be putting it out this afternoon. Had a lot of fun. Angelina and myself from Chain Breakers had a lot of fun. And she had brought up something in there that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit first before we move on to fear. Of course, before I do that, please say hello. Let me know that you're here, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. If you have a topic or something that you would like to discuss, I'm also looking for guests to come on and do this on Thursdays. I would like to do that next Thursday. So, So what I just wanted to cover real quick before we got onto this was, if you're newer in the program, if you're detoxing from alcohol, and you have been a heavy drinker like I was, or other people in the program, I highly recommend that you get to a detox. Okay, do not detox on alcohol by yourself. It will kill you. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. It will kill you. Okay, it is one of the only things that you can detox off of that can kill you. It feels like the other stuff can kill you, but it doesn't. Kitty, get off of there. Kitty's stuck inside today because it's cold. So let's move on. But that's really important. It is. We've lost some people in the last few weeks that tried to come off alcohol themselves, and they stroked out, had a heart attack, or all right. So daily reflection. I don't know why I closed that one. February 12th. No, this is the one I wanted. Sorry, guys. Pow! All right. I'm grateful for my friends in the program. Right now, I am aware of the blessings of friendship, the blessings of meetings. This didn't fit either. Of sharing, of smiling, of listening, and being available when needed. Right now, I know that if I want a friend, I must be a friend. Well, I vow this day to be a better friend to more people. While I strive this day in my thoughts, words, and actions to disclose the kind of friend I am. So that's just a matter of being yourself. Just be you. That's not too difficult. Yes, we're going to get to fear. Don't you fear. We'll get to fear. May I restore in the kind fellowship of the program the friendship I have so hungry taken from it. After years of glossing my lonely existence with superficial acquaintanceships, may I learn again the reciprocal joys of caring and sharing. Today I'll remember be a friend. Yeah, still be a jerk, man. Be nice to yourself and, be helpful to other people. So this was the part that I was going to read. The root of our trouble, selfishness, self-centeredness, that we think is the root of our troubles. Now that's page 62. And we covered that a lot. So I wanted to read out of the language of the heart. And it's called This Matter of Fear. It was written in January 1962 by Bill W. As the book says, fear is an evil, corroding thread. The fabric of our lives is shot through with it. Fear is surely a bar to reason and to love, and of course it invariably powers anger, vainglory, and aggression. It underlies maudlin guilt and paralyzing depression. President Roosevelt once made the significant remark that we have nothing to fear but fear itself. This severe indictment and it is possibly too sweeping for all its usual destructiveness. We have found that fear can be the starting point for better things. Fear can be a stepping stone to prudence and to decent respect for others. It can point the path to justice as well as to hate. And the more we have respect and justice, the more we shall begin to find the love which can suffer much and yet be freely given. So fear not always be destructive, because the lessons of its consequences can lead us to positive values. So I had a fear of losing my wife and kids due to my drinking. And because of that fear, I got sober. All right, let's say some hi to some people today. It's good, Jill. I'm glad that you're doing things. We're all praying for you here. Good morning, Jerry. It's good to see you. We're all praying, we're all over here praying for you. We are. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jill, for being a part of. I appreciate that. And Jill, we love everything you do. I will wait forever for you to come back. The achievement of freedom from fear is a lifetime undertaking, one that can never be wholly completed. When under heavy attack, acute illness, or in other conditions of serious insecurity, we shall all react, well or badly as the case may be. Only the vainglorious claim perfect freedom from fear, though their very grandiosity is really rooted in the fears as they have temporarily forgotten. So we're always going to be dealing with fear. There again, just like our attitude, just like anger, it's dependent. What are we going to do about it? How are we going to react to this? I remember I have some neck problems, and I was going to get one of my shots, and I was in a lot of pain. And you got to wait like 3 months. So I go in, and I'm talking to the nurse, and it turns out I'm in the wrong location. And yeah, of course, I was pretty upset by this because I was looking forward to some relief, right? And, I remember being upset, but I wasn't upset with anybody necessarily in particular, so I didn't see any reason to be mad at anybody. And I told her, you know what, I may have made the mistake. I don't know, people make mistakes. We're all human. No biggie. If you guys can fit me in, I would really appreciate it. And it turned out the doctor was standing right there, and he turned to me and he said, you know what? People never talk to us like that. And I was in and out in 45 minutes because I decided not to be mean to somebody that didn't deserve it. They did not deserve it. Okay? So when we are in fear, don't react. Take some time. Give yourself a chance, man. You're worth an extra 5 seconds. You really are. Then we shall need to find both the courage and the grace to deal constructively with whatever fears remain. Trying to understand our fears and the fears as others is but a first step. The larger question is how and where we go from there. Since AA's beginning, I have watched as thousands of my fellows became more and more able to understand and to transcend their fears. These examples have been unfailing help and inspiration. Perhaps then some of my own experience with fear and the shedding of it to an encouraging degree may be appropriate. And that's why we share in meetings, so that other people understand that we're going through fears and how we deal with those fears. As a child, I had some pretty heavy emotional shocks. There was a deep family disturbance. I was physically awkward and the like. Of course, other kids had such emotional handicaps and emerged unscathed. But I didn't. Evidently, I was oversensitive and therefore overscared. Anyhow, I developed a positive phobia that I wasn't like other youngsters and never could be. At first, this threw me into depression and thence into isolation of retreat. So, see how we all kind of went through a lot of this where we just didn't feel like we belonged growing up. You know, we didn't feel like we even belonged in our own families or around our peers. But these child miseries, all of them generated by fear, became so unbearable that I turned highly aggressive. That's what I did. I was very, very shy. And then I started drinking and I became aggressive. I was no longer going to take bullying or bullshit from anybody. And I didn't. That's when I became brutally honest. I felt simply that I had to dominate in everything I chose to do, work or play. As this attractive formula for a good life began to succeed according to my then specifications of success, I became deliriously happy. Okay, that being deliriously happy is dangerous for us. Okay. But when an undertaking occasionally did fail, I was filled with a resentment and depression that could only be cured by the next triumph. Very early, therefore, I came to the value everything in terms of victory or defeat, all or nothing. The only satisfaction I knew was to win. This was my false antidote for fear, and this was the pattern, ever more deeply edged, that dogged me through school days, World War I, and hecking drinking career in Wall Street, and down to the final hour of my complete collapse. By that time, adversity was no longer a stimulant, and I knew not whether my greater fear was to live or die. While my basic fear pattern is a very common one, there are, of course, many others. Indeed, fear manifestations and the problems that trial in their wake are so numerous and complex that in this brief article, it is not possible to detail even a few of them. We can only review those spiritual resources and principles by which we may be able to face and deal with fear in any of its aspects. And that's what, how much time do we have? I'd like to read the next paragraph because I think it's going to bring us some hope or some answers here. In my own case, the foundation stone of freedom from fear is that of faith. Thank you. Thank you, God. A faith that, despite all the worldly appearances to the contrary, causes me to believe that I in a universe that makes sense. To me, this means a belief in a creator who is all-powerful, justice, and love, a God who intends for me a purpose, a meaning, and a destiny to grow, however little and haltingly, towards his own likeness and image. Before coming to faith, I had lived as an alien in the cosmos that too often seemed both hostile and cruel. In it, there could be no inner security for me, right? So we spend all of our time looking for this security and the way to fill this hole with drugs and alcohol or people, other people, trying to utilize other people to satisfy our own emotions because of a fear. Well, for me, the opposite of fear is faith in God. You know, all it took was just a little bit of willingness for me to say, God, yes, I'm willing. And then the floodgates opened, man. They did it all by themselves. I didn't have to do much. All I had to do was ask God for help, and he was there, man. He was there for me. Let's see what the rest of the reflection has to say. How amazing the revelation that the world and everyone in it can get along just fine with or without me. That's great. What a relief to know that people, places, and things will be perfectly okay without my control and direction. Wow. And how wordlessly wonderful to come to believe that a power greater than me exists, separate and apart from myself. I believe that the feeling of separation I experience between me and God will one day vanish. In the meantime, faith must serve as a pathway to the center of my life. You know, we all have our different things around spirituality and religion, things like that. Um, for me, God's kind of all inclusive. So I don't feel like he brought me this far just to drop me off. Okay. Now I have meaning in my life. I just got done with a podcast and I thought it was really cool because she started the podcast and she didn't notice that I brought it up to her. But in the beginning, she was talking about how her family life looked great on the outside, but it was horrible on the inside. And later on, she's in recovery, broke, and happy, right? And she said to me, now my life looked bad on the outside, but it was good on the inside. And I thought, what a difference. What a huge difference. To be like, yes, I'm dealing with life on life's terms. Life can be messed up sometimes, but here I am. God, what do you need me to do today? The best way to stay out of the itty bitty shitty committee is by helping other people. And I guarantee you, there's somebody near you that you can help. Maybe it doesn't seem like it, right? But I can tell you right now, if you ask God to help you get out of self, he will do it. Yes. And that is what it's about. Absolutely, Joe. All right, guys, I would love to sit here and hang out with you. I really would. But go get some things done. I got a lot of back end work to do. So I'm gonna go get that taken care of. And about 2:00, you guys will see the podcast come out. Jill, I'll send it directly to you so that you have it, honey. All right, guys, I love you. I really do. You have no idea. All right. Even if you don't like me or you think I don't like you, I love you. And I want what's best for you. So I know you are, Jill. And the nurses. All right, guys, have a great day. I love you. Keep up the good work, Jill. Love you guys. Peace out and have a day.